With everything that's happened in 2020, it's inspired a lot more people to get out there and create content and put videos out and, you know, get stuff out there. But some of y'all's audio is bad. Like, is it no good. So today we're gonna talk about a few tips to help you improve your audio.
Break.
Welcome, my name is Ryan and I'm a creative based in Toronto, and this is my playlist Clutch Creativity, where I share tips and tricks to help you improve your content so that we can grow and learn from each other. And so today we're talking about audio. Why? Because audio is 50% video. Think about it. It's not just pretty things on the screen, but you also have to hear and experience it. And honestly, I'm going to be real, it's better if you have good audio and crappy visuals versus really good visuals and crappy audio. It's just way more bearable to experience. Case in point, look at TikTok, look at, just social media videos, in general. Like you have beautiful music and people are dancing in their living rooms, and the lights sometimes bad and sometimes really grainy, but as long as you can hear and experience it, it makes a huge difference. And now I'm not talking about like getting us to like Hollywood level audio. I'm just saying, like, let's get the audio clear enough that is pleasant to listen to and so that people can understand what you're saying. That's it. Tip number one is to reduce the background noise and any non-essential noises around. Even on Hollywood sets where they have the best equipment and the most talented people, they're always yelling, "What? Quiet on set!" Exactly, because that is so important to get only the audio that you need, and then you can add the rest later or whatever, but you need to control. But also, not just keeping things quiet, but you also need to choose the best environment. So I would say stay away from empty rooms. Think about when you move to a new house, or if you've ever been in an empty room, and when you talk, you can hear the echo of your voice, right? And you can clap, and you can hear that echo. But after you move in, you move your furniture in, you move all your appliances and stuff, that echo is not there anymore, and the room kind of sounds normal again, right? Normal based on what a house normally sounds like. And so that's because we have more stuff in the room now, and that stuff is helping to absorb some of the sound waves. It's helping to diffuse some of the sound so that the sound waves are not bouncing back harshly everywhere like in an empty room. I don't want to get too much into it because I want to keep this video short, but try to use rooms that have a lot of stuff. If you get a rug that you can stand on that will absorb the sound below you. Have a room with like furniture. Like my office here is packed. Like I have computers, I have a shelf here with a bunch of stuff on it. I have another desk over here. So all of that stuff, didn't do it intentionally, but it really helps to absorb the sounds. You may even consider getting something like sound foam or acoustic pads, or just general sound treatment in a room if this is a room that's going to be dedicated to recording stuff or making videos. If it's not, and it's like your living room, then obviously not an option. Maybe go with the previous option of having furniture and just lots of stuff in the room, again, to absorb and to diffuse the sound waves so that they don't come back harshly into your microphone. The next tip is to get as close to the mic as possible. Now, this is going to vary depending on what kind of mic you choose to use, but there are four major types you can use. You can use a lavalier. You can use a shotgun mic. You can use like a studio style mic that just sits on a surface like really close to you, or you can use a shotgun mic on your camera, right? And so depending on which one you're using, that's gonna change how you get that mic close to you. So if you have the mic on top of the camera, you may want to sit closer to the camera and then use a wider angle so that you can sit closer and not have your face be blurred out and stuff. If you're using a shotgun, then you want to mount it somewhere like above or on the side, just kind of off camera so you can see. A lav will be sitting on your clothes like this, and then a studio style mic will just be sitting on the table, and then you'll put that kind of like as close to your mouth as possible, like this, and then you'll speak into it. So I'm gonna do a quick comparison if I haven't switched the audio signals on you yet, and you can hear the difference. This is the sound coming from the shotgun, just that's right above me. It's about 6 inches away from me, just off camera. This is the sound of the lav that's sitting on my neck here, and this is, it's, you know, you can do the math on the measurements. Then this is the studio style mic that's sitting right by my mouth as I'm talking. And then this is the sound coming from the shotgun mic that's on the camera, but the camera is about 3 feet away from me. Side note, if you're using a phone, then you'll probably want to get the respective like adapters, especially if it's an iPhone, because you know iPhones, they have that weird lightning port here. So you want to get something that can adapt, and you can plug in your different mics into it. So most of these mics that you're seeing me show you can be plugged into a phone as long as you have the right attachment. You can also use earpods and earbuds, something that will send a Bluetooth signal back and forth from your phone that will get it right close to your head, and you can get a better audio. Tip number 3 is to record at the right level. You don't want to record too low that it's inaudible, and when you raise it, it's a lot of like noise and hiss in the track. But you also don't want to record it too high that the audio is distorted and now you can't really hear it.
This is what distorted audio sounds like.
Think about overexposure and underexposure, like when you're taking pictures. If it's too bright, then obviously we have everything's too white and you lose a lot of details. And if it's too dark, then everything's too black and you lose details there. So you want to expose, you know, in the best range possible. And so it's the same thing with audio. You want to aim to record stuff at minus 12 dB, and things are not going to be completely at minus 12, but you want things averaging around that point. Maximum minus 6. If you don't have like readings on your dial, then just look for it to stay green or white. Once it starts getting yellow, you need to be careful. If it's like fully yellow or orange, then you're too high. Red is like point of no return. So again, keep things around the minus 12 dB recording level. Of course, if you're fancy and you have something like a Zoom F6 or a Zoom F2, or you know, like one of those other devices that do 32-bit float audio, then you don't have to worry about this tip because your audio is pretty unclippable. You want to make sure that your audio is recorded at the right level so that it is clear. The last thing you want is to ask people to like the video if they're getting value from it, and then they won't be able to hear you properly, right? Tip 4 is you want to record in the best quality audio available to you in your device. The standard that people will use is .wave audio, and that is like a raw version of audio. So in the same way, when you shoot photos, you can shoot JPEG and RAW. Wave is kind of like the RAW versus like, you know, MP3 or one of those other compressed formats. That's going to give you the best quality, and you know, you'll be able to do more stuff with it in post if you go that route. However, when you're recording Wave, most time that requires you to record on some kind of external device, and then that will require you to synchronize stuff in post. If you have a decent workflow, this will be no problem. If you're not used to it, then it's a little bit of a learning curve to learn how to sync stuff up. So watch out for that. But honestly though, if you apply the first 3 tips and you do them well, you don't even need to shoot in raw audio, because you know, like lots of that is covered. Think about if you do all these tips with your cell phone, and your cell phone's right in front of you and you'll get clean audio. People who do vlogs use a shotgun mic plugged into a camera, and they get pretty good results even with cameras being notoriously bad at recording audio. And so they're close enough to the camera and they're in a good environment when they're recording the audio. So again, you can get away without using Wave to record your audio. So a question you might ask yourself is it okay for me to have the mic in frame, right? So sometimes you're gonna have a mic like this on the table, sometimes you're gonna have one like a lav that's showing, and then sometimes you're gonna have stuff off camera. And there is no right answer. Like, there are a lot of people who have built looks and brands around having a microphone in the shot. People who do podcasts and video podcasts have their mics in the shot, and it really depends on you. Like, back in it, I would say 5-10 years ago, it was a big no-no. Like, no mics in the shot, hide them as like at your detriment, or else everyone's gonna die. But now, having the mic in the shot is going to be up to you. People do it all the time, and it really depends on your aesthetic and what you want for your video. But don't let that come in the way of getting the best audio quality you can when you're talking, okay? So there you go. Those are my quick tips to getting some clean audio for your videos. If you have any questions, I'd love to see them in the comments. Or if you have any other suggestions that I missed in this beginner's guide, put them down there. And until the next video, stay courageous, friends.